My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise-canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. I decided after the break and everything, and after having my birthday, and after getting my iPhone together, and things like that I've been updating you all about in the last couple of little short videos, I decided it would be a great time to come on here and do something I've always wanted to do and demonstrate how I carved these bears. Now, I will tell you all about bears like these I've carved in the past. That there have been ones I've carved out of cherry, walnut, and mahogany, 2 of each. All of them have sold except for one particular walnut one. So I'd say these bears, they are good sellers in my world. So there had been a couple of these blanks here that I had made out of butternut some time ago. So since butternut is a softer, easier to carve wood, I decided that that would be the best one to demonstrate for the video. So that was kind of what I got it out to do, and it's going to be a little thing where we're going to work together on it and make it so it's going to be a little better, and we're going to come down to where we're going to finish things out, and I'm going to do what I've always wanted to do. I made these blanks specifically for the video, so we're going to start demonstrating here. One thing I'll show you all to start with is that I will begin by kind of working on the head here. Kind of narrow little head down, and kind of, I'd say, just work our way along, make it so it's going to be just a bright little bear to come along and make it so we're going to see great little things happen when we do this. And so we kind of have to work along where we come along the front of the muzzle to the head, and as for now, just work little ways along, make it so we're going to try to drive little tools into our wood and make things come out just the best way that we can, and then just kind of see what this is going to be when it all gets down to what we have, I say, and all the things we got a little work at, and oh, I say, make it so it's going to narrow down to a little ways of the neck up to the nose, and see how little teddy bear shall come out here, and try to get out where we work little ways, make it so we see it where it will matter the most, and that's how we've come along here, and to where we also have little places to make along just to put on little works of art. And sometimes I say, I hope I got these knives sharp enough to where I got them to do what I need them to do, what they need to be. And so this is just the kind of thing where the work is coming its way along to see what we want to see and do what we want to do, to where it's just making it so bears have little habitats like they do. And sometimes I'm thinking I might need to replace these knives sooner or later. They might be getting kind of old. They've probably been around for a few years. So try to get the work done into the piece to make it so it's going to be brighter images, brighter days, brighter nights and stuff. And I say we're probably narrowing it down to what it's about to need to be, and put little places where we shine the work right in. And I tell y'all that I've been creating a lot of dust lately, and it's probably what's been bad for my sinuses. But I've been power carving some baby hippos lately to go with the mother ones I've already carved. And then we'll come down to making it where we will see a little beauty to behold in what we do to make it so the bear is coming out just to be the style and fashion that for something that we are going to need, and try to show the best of how a little work is coming out. We're almost done with the shaving the sides of the head, but I think since we've gotten that far, we might as well just take it on with the other one as well. And I want to tell y'all what I was doing this afternoon was I was listening to a new podcast. I don't remember who the guy was that did the original podcast on X, which is what used to be Twitter. And it was with Sarah Listy of Tool Girls Garage. She did really great and said a lot of great things. I mean, she's just one of those people who can inspire many with her work and be one of the best in the trade, I say. So I've kind of watched enough to know how good she is. I say that when we come down to this, I'll tell you all a little bit more about this bear. That there was a certain Adirondack Santa Claus that was in Rick Butts' book about carving Santas, and there was a little bear that went with the Adirondack Santa. That's where the pattern for this originally came from, but with that pattern, you know, it kind of had it where one foreleg was up and moving forward, but I decided to narrow it all down, make all the legs the same, so they'd kind of have a little equal space, make it a little easier for me to carve, and make it just a little bit more of my own design. So that's what I've really enjoyed about the work. Sometimes I see a pattern and I make changes to it to make it a little bit easier for me, that is. And as for how we're making the rest of the way go, we got little pieces here and working our way along this. Should probably even be carving chips much smaller. Shouldn't be chipping off in such large pieces. Should probably just be taking a little more of my time, because I tell you, these chips fly everywhere when you kind of rush through it a little too much. But this is how he's turning out. I've been informed from the time I first started carving of ways it ought to be, things ought to do, ways ought to do it. But I tell y'all that I just carve so ferociously and aggressively that it just gets too easy for the chips to scatter, even if I think I have a pan under it, which I always expect to be catching it. And as for the little work I say, we've kind of gotten this far, and there's certain other steps that will be taken. Sometimes it can require a little thinking on your part to decide what to do next, but you've got a certain ways to go with the steps and take it so it's going to turn out a little nicer and finer. As for now, we come along where we sort of try to, I'd say, get under the neck, and probably I'd say a little under the muzzle there. Try to get it where we can try to shave little lines and little art out of the teddy bear and make it so it's going to be a little unique for a little work we do, I say, and all the things that we do working in our time, making things so they're brighter and beautiful, and oh, I say, a little extra work to do. Sometimes for me, this kind of gives me a little good sense of recreation, just to kind of work around these little lines and make these little cuts and shaves, and especially when it comes to this butternut wood, it's fairly simple to do, fairly simple to make, and I say shave all the bears out of it, and oh, I tell y'all, like, oh, how work shall shine its light into us and brighten a little path into us, and whoa, whoa, I say, what does this bear do? Make little brighter times. Oh, look, we kind of got the face done out. Got little ways to take it next, little ways to go about this, and in all things, I say, the times we take about things just measures up to the most. And for all, I say that this comes to be, we got a little differences about us that make us who we are, make us better, and make us stronger. There's been a lot to accomplish in this life, and I'd say, as for now, getting around to doing this business stuff has helped so much. Just looking at the time on the video there, so looks like we've got plenty more time to go about this, but I'd say, as for now, oh, and I see one little thing I forgot about here was that there had been a time in the past when I had probably cut off something I shouldn't have when I was kind of working on this, so I glued another piece here onto the blank just to kind of get it back into its right place and into its right shape for what it needed to be. So that's where we've worked our ways along. Got another little cut to make along this one too. This is where we come along the front of the legs to make it so he's going to be a good old grizzly bear for all things, or for his color he could be a grizzly bear, but same little pattern could be used to make a black bear. Even with these bears, you could probably paint their muzzles. The original one in the Santa carving book did have the muzzle painted on it, but when it comes to these ones that I carve out of the harder woods, I don't really do that. The one in the book was basswood, so of course it was one that you paint in one color and paint the muzzle in another. So that was just how that little piece of work kind of worked along. And I say that this is just among those things we work so hard at. Made a few other animals lately, like a kudu and some elands. I mean, the kudus were actually on an intarsia plaque that I made, and with some certain pieces I had in scraps in another box, I could make an intarsia eventually for a gemsbok antelope. But I've been seeing lots of antelopes and lions and crocodiles and things in my Facebook news feed because I follow so much animal stuff that they suggest to me all these animal posts that come up, so I'll look at them as well and kind of decide from them, make my choices from them. And you know, anything I can see in them they might remind me of, that's what I'll make. And then it'll come down to where we got a little muzzle in place, and finally just little ways we come about, all the things we have, all the things we do. And I'd say things been going really nice on my school cafeteria job lately. I want to tell y'all about a waitress who did something special for my birthday last week. My birthday was last Thursday, but I came in on Friday night to see her at the restaurant. She paid for my meal and for my dessert and to go and everything, and always as sweet as she is. She never charges me for my soda because I'm a frequent customer, because I'm a friend. And, you know, she doesn't have any social media but Snapchat, and I didn't have a Snapchat at first, but decided to set one up just to talk to her, so finally did that and finally connected with her on there, and we've kind of gotten on there, talked a little bit. She's opened a few of my messages. It's really meant a lot, and so I say that that's been a good thing. And what I'd like to mention last but not least is that I have appreciated the fact that I have seen 3 more subscribers on this page since the last time I had checked the number before that, and I am very well pleased with that. I'd like to kind of have a little bit more shares, so maybe a few more people could subscribe. I've got a lot to say and to do, but I just know there's a lot of good things I come on here and watch, like Darman and Super Missions, some of these little videos about life lessons, and Soul Snack, and there's a page called Reflective Genetics, which is about a couple of Jarvis twins in England, and they make some great videos and shorts. I like to watch them, and you know, there's just so much good that happens on this channel, and I'd hate to kind of miss much, but I've even seen lately that Sarah Listy of Tool Girls Garage, who I mentioned a while ago, she's making some more shorts and putting them on YouTube. Tell y'all, and for one more thing, as y'all noticed, I forgot my mouth and earpiece today, but that's kind of, I'd say, no big deal, because I'd say these days I'm just not doing as much video as I was, and I'd say that probably it won't be in the mornings before work. I'm kind of getting to where my schedule in the mornings before work has gotten a little bit different, and where I just kind of try to rest and get awake and shower and eat breakfast and not have so much time for recording at that time. But that would usually be the time my dad would be walking through on the phone with another family member on the phone, where, you know, the video could probably pick up the sound of whoever's on the phone. But that is just something which I'd say for the most part, I hope we have taken care of. I'd say that tonight I just felt in the mood to come on and record a video because I've been having some good days the past few days, and like I said, that waitress made my days on Friday night and Sunday morning among the times she works in the restaurant, and she's just so sweet. She hugs me and hug her back and say, "You're really sweet," and she always says, "Oh, you're sweet." So I say that it's just been ways that my days have been made. She's touched my life in a lot of ways, and so do so many people I follow on the internet. So thank you all for watching, and take care. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.